Hey ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to a hidden patch notes video for Valheim. I'm pretty much going to talk about everything that went on with the PTB branch today, so you know what to expect, and I'm sure they may adjust or add some more in the coming week and fixes and stuff. I reckon content wise though, what we got today is pretty much going to be it for this patch. If you want to see more details of that with the Frost Caves, I've already done a stream and a showcase video giving you everything you need to know. So go and watch it now, it'll be in the comments section. But today we're going to go over the little patch notes, and Valheim devs have started adding more detail. This is something I suggested they do a while ago, and I'm so glad they're doing it. They're basically a bunch of other more in-depth patch notes that not everyone will care about, but certainly for nerds like me, I like looking into it and seeing exactly what's been changed. It makes our lives easier, especially for content creators or just people that really want to know the ins and outs, the mins and maxers out there. So we're going to go over what you see on the screen, but then we'll go over the more detailed patch notes, and I'm going to give you my opinion about the Frost Caves update and how great I think it is. So you can now pause the game in single player. As soon as you press the pause function, it will pause the game. No more having to worry about some cheeky grey dwarf coming and grabbing you when you got to go a pee. There is now full controller support. It will list exactly the buttons on the screen when you're using them, instead of sometimes default into some of the keybinds. I always appreciate that Valheim did allow you to use the controller out of the gate, but yeah, there were some issues with it. It feels much more responsive and snappier now as well. Maybe that's just my imagination, but definitely the UI changes that you can actually see what you're using when you pause the menu are much welcome. If you're using big picture mode, you can even run through text input and use a controller when in big picture mode now that you play the game too. And you can even cycle through commands while using the gamepad from now on. I know this isn't great news or big news for everyone. I'm sure keyboard and mouse players are okay, but definitely this helps out for nubs like me that prefer controllers, and for accessibility. I'm pretty sure it's easier to organise this kind of stuff on modified controllers now. Whereas sometimes directly changing keybinds to modified controllers for anyone that needs that extra support can be a bit of an issue. So this feels like it's a step in the right direction for accessibility. There is now an FPS limiter. If you've got a lower end system, you're having a bit of tearing and stuff, well, they have made huge improvements already in early access, but now you can also reduce it even further. Or likewise, if you've got a beast of a PC like me, then you can go ahead and get even more FPS by setting a limiter to a higher value. Signs can be placed anywhere without needing a workbench, so if anyone's joining your world and you've set something up far away, then you can make them go on a little Easter egg hunt, or simply have some good signage around with directions without having to build a million workbenches. Split dialogue can now take numeric input. Not gonna lie, don't know what that one means. The Yatga and shield now display properly on armor stands by the looks of things. I think there was a few issues with some of them, or the styles just not really hitting right when you put them on some of the stands. And finishing off the general patch notes, a whole bunch of improvements to bug fixes, quality of life, UI settings and Steam Deck fixes. Obviously the Steam Deck is launching very soon. I'm going to be giving it a detailed little run through of Valheim and a bunch of other survival games, as I have got one on order and I'm hopefully one of the first wave. And again, it might not be that big a deal to most of you already playing, as you're probably not getting a Steam Deck. But yeah, I'll be definitely doing some significant coverage showing how Valheim runs on it, as well as other games. And this is all good news for potentially in the future console ports. If they've got this stuff nailed down, it makes it a lot easier to nail it and put it onto consoles. Then again, they may still change the UI and control schemes, but yeah, I still think it's probably onto a winner like this. Okay, now onto the detail patch notes. They've obviously added all of the Frost Cave stuff. I've done, like I said, videos going over it and a stream, so go and check it all out for yourself. But obviously there is a new weapon, the Flesh Rippers. There is the new armor set, the Fenris coat, leggings and hood. You can equip all three of them for an extra bonus. New crafting materials, the red jute, Fen Ring Hair and the Fen Ring Claw. And they've got new enemies, the Olv, the Cultist and the Bat. You basically get fire protection and also a bonus to unarmed combat, and you'd also get a 15% increase in frost resistance, I do believe, if you're wearing the chest piece, which is the coat. As normal, these dungeons will only actually appear if you've gone into an area you haven't explored already, and obviously they're in the mountain zone. Once you've got the new pieces, you'll be able to make red jute carpet, red jute curtains and a standing brazier. And the big one of all is You Stirred the Cauldron. That's a brand new event, and I'm pretty sure it involves some of the Fenring attacking you if you've gone and explored some of that zone already. Or maybe it's related to a certain boss fight. I'm guessing it's got to be pretty late in the game. I don't think you're going to be getting it just after, you know, the forest is moving. So yeah, I'll have to look into that. Look out for a video giving details about that event. And then just some more details about some of the improvements. Like I said, the FPS limiter setting, helping out GPU usage and basically capping the FPS menu now to 60. Console command improvements and additions, so there's going to be even more to use. Fix some dungeon parts not being fully deterministic. Ends. No map mode improvements. This is something the devs like playing together. They've been streaming it over the last few months. Well, they don't have any map, and they've got a VEGGIE alternative. No map is server setting, so that means no one can cheat. Max distance for shouting, random build spawn rotation, and no portals command. The resolution now only shows refresh rate when forcing exclusive full screen, and I've got various UI fixes. The building marker is more subtle and indicates piece rotation now. You can clearly see the little red arrow pointing in the direction of where a stand is actually going to be facing. So this is great stuff. It means now you can put weapons down or items, decorative pieces, and know exactly which way it's going to face. Corpse Run is going to give you carry weight bonus to compensate for unequipped belts. The crafting stackable item while having full inventory now possible if there are available stack slots. Fix the bug where sometimes stackable items won't be taken when having a full inventory and pressing take all in a chest. Also, chat can now be closed using escape, mouse or gamepad B. Woohoo! And then it finishes off with some more details about the gamepad support. You can now scroll through the skills window with the gamepad. There's an alternative controller glyph style option. Context menus will now always show controller buttons when using the controller, which is the biggest one for me. I'm sick of seeing keyboard buttons, but now that's all done, thank God. And any missing gamepad tooltips have now been added to it properly. You can also cancel crafting if pressing the same button again, just like you can with a mouse. And when that Steam Deck does get here, it'll have default settings applied to the Steam Decks. So optimization and the layout will show when playing on Steam Deck. Also improvements for several community translated languages. And there you go. That is all the secret little patch notes so far in the VALHEIM PTB. So all in all, that's great. Some nice quality of life options, improving performance. When it comes to the actual update itself, I think this update's great. It's small, it's contained. It obviously isn't going to mean you've got thousands of hours of extra gameplay, but it definitely adds a more flavour. It gives even more abilities, and this is what every little armour set can do. It gives more choice in how you play the game. When you think about the swamp having the abomination, that gives that an extra flavour, and now the mountains have got something whole really big to go and aim for. We've got new dungeons, and these dungeons are so different. They're varied. You can find small, you can find large. They've obviously still got the same components, but the layout of them is so big and different. It's going to be a real challenge making sure you don't die from full damage, or likewise getting murdered by obviously the brand new enemies. But for sure, the new armor set means that you can play a little bit more differently. It's going to give you that extra bonus and buff. And it looks like we're starting to build out now proper skills that you can get bonuses in. Obviously with the sneak, with the ice resistance, lots of unarmed damage now with the claws. It means that you can have different ways to play. This update adds a whole host of things for builders as well. Being able to get hold of the crystal without having to find and take on golems every 2 seconds. It means you'll be able to run in here, grab some a little bit quicker as well. And obviously we've got the new materials. The jute red carpet that you can make in the curtains are nice little additions. I'm still not convinced by the Fenring's 15% resistance to fire. Like, I want that buff. I don't know if it really suits this armor set, but the cultists obviously are masters of the dark arts and flammable flames and stuff. Flammable flames? Yeah, that's a thing. So yeah, maybe it kind of makes sense. But I don't know, I feel like it could probably do with just another little kind of buff. But it does complete like the set, like we're getting resistance, we're getting frost, we've got poison. I just always assumed that something like neck armor or neck coat would be good for that. But then again, I think everyone else wants the neck to stop you getting wet. So I guess that's another use if they ever do something like that. But the colours are great, the atmosphere is good, the music's good. It does kick in quite a lot. Maybe they need to tone it down just a wee bit. I'm all for having new tracks, but at the moment it kind of plays a bit more randomly when you're going through certain places than others. And it feels like it should maybe only just kick in when you only come across exactly the cultists themselves. And I would say give us a little bit more loot, like we get silver necklaces, a little bit of gold, but it'd be nice to definitely generate more stuff in the chests or have more in some of the bone piles, which there are loads of. Like, I'm not 100% sure on why we need even more reasons to get bones at the moment. I know we can make the bone shield, they added that recently or in the last few updates, but yeah, we're definitely going to need some more reasons to make or craft stuff with bone. All in all, a great little update. With the addition of the event, it's going to give a little bit more randomness to people's playthroughs. They're going to have to go and search high and low for these mountains to regenerate and actually get these actual dungeons. And I definitely feel we're going to get some people getting grumpy that they've fallen off the stairs and plummeted to their death, and they'll have a desperate fight to go and get their stuff back. So all in all, great stuff. The claws are super fun, and again, it just adds a little bit more flavour for people that want a bit more versatility in how to play Valheim. Is it going to stave off this stupid knuckleheads that will come in every other month without checking devlogs or listening to bullshit hate-bait YouTubers complaining that the updates aren't big enough? No, you're still going to get them blonkers coming along. But I am confident. It just shows that the work's gone into something which was meant to be small. I'm sure it's probably going to be just one little hollow like the troll cave and chuck a fen ring in there. But they've fleshed it out. They've made it a real reason and challenge to go to the mountains on top of all the other challenges that are already there. So for me, it's a great little update. I am obviously excited and hyped about Mistlands, but don't expect that anytime soon. I still think we're a good few months away. So yeah, a win for me. If they do add any more content to this in the PTB before it releases for everyone, of course I'll let you guys know, but I reckon this is pretty much the main bulk of the stuff that's gone into it. So until next time, go and check out the videos I'm doing on the content, and I'll see you right back soon.